Members, we have a quorum and it is the appointed time for the meeting. Let me call the meeting to order. The agenda for this meeting is that we need to elect the chairman and vice chairman of the meeting. I will now chair the election of the meeting, of the chairman of the meeting for the panel on Public Service 2014 to 2015. According to ROP 7776, a member who is the chairman or deputy chairman of a government advisory body in respect of matters which a panel considers to be directly related to the terms of reference of the panel shall not be the chairman or deputy chairman of the panel. And according to 77(7) of ROP, a member shall not be chairman or deputy chairman of more than one panel at the same time. And now, according to House Rules 22F and also Appendix IV and the procedures therein, we can now start the election of the chairman. Can we have a nomination, please? Mr. Tam Yu Chung? Mr. Pun Siu Peng. Any seconder? Mr. Leung Chi Chang seconds. Any other nominations? Mr. Sin Chung Kai? Mr. Lee Chak Yan? Any seconder? Miss Emily Lau. Okay, we have two candidates. Do we have a third nomination? Let me ask around. The two nominated members, do you accept nomination? Yes. And yes. What about the other one, Mr. Lee Chak Yan? Are you willing? Yes. Okay, you accept nomination. Some members have just come in. Do we have a third nomination, please? We have Mr. Pun Siu Peng and Mr. Lee Chak Yan, who have been nominated to be chairman of this panel. If there is not another nomination, we can start to issue ballot papers to members.
Okay.
Candidate number 1 is Mr. Pun Siu Peng. Candidate number 2 is Mr. Lee Chak Yan. Ballot papers are being issued. Members, you know that you do not have to fold the ballot paper, but you should keep it away from the sight of other members. Every member has a vote or ballot paper now. Is it that voting is completed? If yes, let us collect the ballot papers. How many ballot papers have been issued? We distributed 13 ballot papers. Now the ballot papers will be collected. Okay, we have all the ballot papers. The two nominators, please come up here to observe the counting of votes. Mr. Tam Yu Chung and Mr. Sin Chung Kai, please come to the front. We have collected 13 ballot papers. Yes, let us now have the results. Number 1. Can you open them up? Number 1. Number 1. Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Number 1. Number 1. Number 1. Number 1. Number 2. Number 1. Okay, let's count again. Eight votes for number 1. 5 votes for number 2. I declare Mr. Poon Siu Ping returned chairman of this panel. Congratulations. Please take the chair and chair the election of the deputy chairman.
Let
us now elect the deputy chairman for the panel on public service 2014 to 2015. A valid nomination must be made by a member orally and must be supported by or seconded by at least another member orally and should be accepted by the nominated member. Nominations are invited. Mr. Leung Chi Chang, I nominate Mr. Kwok Wai Keung. Any seconder? Mr. Tan Ka Pyu seconds. Any other nominations? Mr. Kwok Wai Keung, do you accept nomination? I accept. Any other nominations? Mr. Ip Kin Yuen, I nominate Mr. Lee Cheuk Yen. Any seconder? Miss Claudia Mo. Mr. Lee Cheuk Yen, do you accept nomination? I do. Okay, any other nominations? If not, we can now issue the ballot papers. Ballot papers and a stamp have been issued to members. According to the House rules, candidates would be assigned a serial number or a candidate number according to the order of nomination. And members, please chalk a tick against the number of the candidate of your choice. Number 1, Mr. Kwok Wai Keung, and candidate number 2, Mr. Lee Cheuk Yen. Since this is a secret ballot, members should not show their choice to others. Please just fold the vote or ballot paper. Is it that everybody has got a ballot paper? If members have already chalked a tick against the number of the candidate of their choice, we will now collect the ballot papers. We have issued 14 ballot papers. Let us count how many ballot papers we have collected. Okay, we have collected 14 ballot papers. Now may I invite the two nominators to come up here and observe the counting of the votes. Mr. Leung Chi Chang and Mr. Ip Kin Yuen, please.
The
clerk, please read out the votes. I have a sore throat today. This is a blank vote. It is an invalid vote, the first one. Number 1, the second vote is number 1. And then number 1. 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 Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Let me count the ballot papers again.
2、3、4、5、6、7。1號就有8張。
8 votes for number 1. 5 votes for number 2. There should be 5. Indeed. And there is one invalid vote. Okay, so I declare Mr. Kwok Wai Keung has won 8 votes and Mr. Lee Cheuk Yen has won 5 votes. I declare Mr. Kwok Wai Keung returned as Deputy Chairman of the Panel on Public Service. Congratulations to you, Mr. Kwok. That's it for the election part. Members, you should have a schedule of meetings tabled for your information. If you have no objection, we will have meetings according to that schedule. And as in the last year, we'll have meetings at 10:45 on the third Monday of the month. Okay, that's it for this year as well. And the next item, items for discussion for the next meeting.
At
the next meeting, we are prepared to take up 2 items with the administration. Number 1, commendation schemes for civil servants, and 2, pay level survey. Our next meeting will be held on the 17th of November. Mr. Lee Cheuk Yen, Chairman, I'd like to propose that at the next meeting we can also discuss the strike by lifesavers and also the system managing that post. They would like not to be counted as artisans but another rank. However, the CSB has said that a grade can be reviewed only if there is recruitment difficulty. However, lifesavers have already staged different strikes and they are asking to be shifted from the grade of artisan to a professional grade. Right, we are going to take up such issues with the Secretary for Public Service. Maybe we cannot make it at the next meeting, but we will do it as soon as possible. If there is nothing else, the meeting is adjourned.